Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Okay, we don't get new tips, so we do have to still keep playing. Throw Satoko under the bus. Maybe it's contrived, but you think it still works because we see the characters play games everywhere. Yeah, I know. It's just like, well, that sure is convenient.
これで全部かな?
Yep, there it is. Ta-da! Rena finished making her confession. There was no applause or curtain call. It was quiet and a lonely stage that Rena performed on alone. I think I'd forgotten to blink since her confession started. Everybody else seemed to be feeling the same way. Rena looked at us like she was a teacher waiting for questions from her students. We noticed that she was imitating what Shia-sensei does at the end of class, and we all smiled bitterly.
さっきまでね、袋を埋める場所を探しに。絶対見つからない場所に隠そうと思うと、なかなかいい場所が見つからないの。
I'm telling you, if Rika just did her deep voice like a, no, we should not go there. We should go home. I'm pretty sure they would have listened to her. Maybe they would have been, like, freaked out. But, you know. Also, I want to hire Kasai as my bodyguard.
自分の家の庭に埋める方がむしろ安心じゃないかななんて。
Rena, sweetie, why are you digging a big hole in the backyard? Don't worry about it, Dad.
でも、それじゃあやっぱり危ないよね。お父さんが突然家庭菜園をやりたいなんて言い出すかもしれない。
Nah, your father's a fat man. He's not gonna plant veggies.
やっぱり遠くの山奥がいい。あの女をたとえ死んだ後でもお父さんに近づけたくなかったし。
I get it, Rena. I do. I felt like I did something very bad. Yeah. Oh wait. This is Keiichi thinking. Here I thought Rena was feeling remorse. Nope. Rena's plan was going smoothly. If I'd only hunted for the Mahjong tiles instead of insisting on doing something else, this wouldn't have happened. When I looked at the others, they all seemed to be regretting their actions too. Rika's just like, I told you! If Mion hadn't come up with the idea to play at the garbage dump. If Satoko hadn't found the broken refrigerator. Satoko, why? If Rika-chan had convinced us not to go. She tried! Rena could have had a few more days, and she could have gotten rid of these trash bags. They never would have been found. I was joking about someone finding the refrigerator, being like, yes, this is what I need. Then what would have happened next? Nothing. Everything would have remained the same. We could have kept having happy and peaceful lives. Rena had been through a hard time, but she'd been forcing her face into a smile for us. Well, I mean, yeah. The fake smile was supposed to become a real smile one day. None of us were supposed to notice that Rena was going through a hard time. After a while, Rena was supposed to be able to forget the bitter memory of killing these two, and she was supposed to live as if nothing had happened. Yeah, Rena could have kept the secret, but now that everybody knows, Keiichi is absolutely going to be like, oh no, I'm going to come, we see I did it, and it's going to ruin everything. But now, all of her effort, all of her courage, had been ruined.
人殺しはいけないことだってことは、私だって知ってるよ。したくなんかなかったし、これからだってしたくないと思ってる。
I can't believe we're already catching up to the prologue, and it's still early on.
でもね、これが最善の努力だったって信じてるし、私は悪いことをしたなんてこれっぽっちも思ってない。私は幸せで平穏な生活を取り戻すために神様から与えられた等しいチャンスの中で最大限に努力しただけ。
Hold up there! Just cause you were presented with that as a possibility does not mean God was telling you to do it. Could have been Satan doing that. Also, you now believe in God? I thought you believed in Oyashiro-sama.
製品であれば不幸せでもいいなんてのは満たされた人間の綺麗事だよ。
This is your favorite scene of this arc. Okay, I'll pay more attention.
その精一杯は世界中の誰にだってけなせない。むしろ私を褒めてほしいくらい。
Rena, you're losing it.
称えてほしいくらい。
Rena, you're really losing it.
竜宮レナは自らの運命と戦った。そして打ち勝った。
I don't know why I did it, but I interrupted her. I shouldn't have, but I thought I needed to tell her this, so I did.
でもレナ、どうして俺たちに相談してくれなかったんだよ。
Did you really just ask that stupid question? You really did.
相談？
そうだよ。俺たちは仲間だろ。仲間ってのは何があっても無条件で味方になってくれる 家族同然の存在じゃないのかよ。
We would have had the murder conspiracy together?
俺たちに相談してくれれば何かの力になれたかもしれない。そうすればレナは自分の手を汚さずに済んだかもしれない。
Hi there, Trumpet. What Rena told us made me sad. Oh yeah, make it about you. I couldn't help myself from saying that to her. Rena told us straight that she did the best she could. She told us that right to our faces. Yes! She's indicating that you would not have helped, you would have made it more difficult. That's the same thing as saying that she didn't need us in order to do the best she could. True.
ケイちゃん、今はそんなこと言っても。
いや頼む。喜びだって苦しみだって分け合うのが俺は仲間だって思ってる。だからレナが相談してくれたらきっと今よりもより良い未来へたどり着けていたと信じてる。
今よりより良い未来？そんなのないよ。これが最善の未来だよ。
The best possible... I see where she's coming from, because the two people she killed were terrible people. But also, like...
嘘だな。
That's Rena's line. My shout seemed to scare her a little. That's funny, because when Rena shouted that in chapter 1, she really scared me. I knew that Rena didn't believe that this was the best possible future. She just didn't have any other choice. If she had had other choices, she definitely would not have chosen this one. You were think
だっ
that.
てその証拠にレナはさっきから泣いてるじゃないか。
No, she's not. Her sprite's not crying.
はあ？誰が？私が？いつ涙を流したの？
今だよ。ずっと流してるじゃないか。自分で分かってないのか？
CG or it didn't happen. In fact, I didn't see any tears in her eyes or on her face at all. But that didn't mean she wasn't crying. Rena was crying. Keiichi does not seem to understand basic principles. She was crying because she was driven into a corner after all the hard work she did to become happy. Her tears looked so sad. She wasn't crying, though. Anyone who couldn't see those tears wasn't really thinking about her.
私は泣かないよ。誰が泣くものか。私は正しいことをした。最善の選択をした。それでどうして泣かなくちゃならないの？ケイチのバカバカ。何を言ってるか全然わかんないや。
それが泣いてるって言ってんだよ。
Oh boy, it's time for one of Keiichi's legendary speeches where he talks nonsense and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Keiichi, you're so great, yes! Rena stopped laughing all of a sudden, and she spoke with a cold expression on her face.
じゃあいいよ。ケイチ君の言った通りにしたとしてみよう。私がみんなにお父さんとあの女のことを打ち明けた。さあ、どうしてくれるの？
Just imagine if she went to school and she's like, guys, I have a problem. This woman named Rena and this like crazy guy named Teppei are like plotting against me, and then Satoko just has PTSD flashbacks.
まずは
まずは何？
Rena had never talked to me like this before. You also had never talked to her like this before. It was as if she was mocking my ignorance, and that made me shut my mouth.
ケイチ君は去年を知らないんだよ。
去年。
そう。去年、昭和57年6月。私と同じように、人を殺めることでしか抜けられない不幸の迷宮に閉じ込められた人の話を。
Satoko's like, wait! You're saying my brother killed my aunt? Satoko gasped.
ケイチ君はあまり知らないよね。北条聡君のことは。
I know that he's Satoko's older brother. He's been missing, but people say he transferred. There's a rumor that he killed his aunt for Satoko's sake. Therefore, it's been taboo to talk about Satoshi in my class. Actually, in all of Hinamizawa.
聡君もね。私と同じだった。
Actually, more extreme conditions.
ただ幸せで平穏な日々が欲しかっただけ。妹と静かに暮らせる生活が欲しかっただけ。ケイチ君も去年殺されたさとこちゃんのおばさんがどういう人だったかは噂聞いてるよね。
If what I've heard is true, this is what happened. After Satoko lost her parents, her uncle and aunt got custody of her and her brother, but they were miserable people. True. Her aunt was especially cruel to Satoko. I find it hard to believe that her aunt was worse than Teppei. Considering the, what we learned in Chapter 3, and the implications that went with that. Satoshi was the kind of guy who wouldn't even hurt a fly. but his aunt probably was the only one of whom he didn't have a problem killing. That's how terrible a person she was.
北条家のトラブルはね、ひなみ沢では誰もが知っていたんだよ。おばさんがヒステリックで頭のネジのどうかしてることも、サトシ君とサトコちゃんを意味もなくいじめていたことも全部。
Yeah, but Satoko probably doesn't want to talk about this right now, surely.
全部ね。もちろんクラスの誰もが知っていた。御三家の当主跡継ぎであるみーちゃんとリカちゃんだってもちろん知ってたし、サトコちゃんに至っては当事者だもんね。圭一君の言う仲間たちはひなみ沢の誰よりもよくサトシ君の辛さを分かっていたはずなんだよ。それで結果はどうだった？誰かがサトシ君を助けてくれた？
It's true.
誰も助けなかった。
That's because Grandma Oreo is a miserable person who's like, yeah, they're Hojos, they deserve it.
みーちゃんは一番力がある
Where's
く
my
せに
whiskey?
村のしがらみがどうとかよくわからない理由で煙に巻いて、結局無責任な同情の言葉をかけて傷つけるだけだった。
そんなことはないよ。
嘘だ。
Oh my! Oh, Lizard has returned.
サトシ君は分かってたよ。みーちゃんが口ぶりだけは同情してるふりをしながらも全然助ける気がないことを分かってた。だからサトシ君はね、途中からみーちゃんのことを嫌うようになったんだよ。普段は仲間だとか友達だとか言っておきながら、結局は北条家をいじめる園崎家の一味でしかなかったってね。
私は別に。
Wait, hang on. Is she referring to when Mion, aka Shion, aka actually Mion, aka the terrible person, like literally just beat up Satoko in front of the school because she's like, you're terrible for being abused, so that Satoshi has to defend you. Is she still remembering that?
何も救わずに放置した。
I mean, I don't know if this still happens in the same timeline or
サト
not,
シ君
but
の助けてほしい思いを同情という言葉で拒絶したんだ。それがどれほどサトシ君を傷つけたか分かってる？
Mion tried to find something to say, but failed to do so. She bit her lip instead.
それはリカちゃんも同じだよね。
Rika's like, maybe if I just smile and don't say anything, they'll go away. Now Rena was pointing fingers at Rika-chan. Unlike Mion, Rika-chan looked emotionless and empty, just like Rena did. No, she's got a smile on her face. She's just like, this is another normal day.
リカちゃんは確かにみーちゃんに比べたらその発言力は微々たるものかもしれない。
You're right, she doesn't have the kind of power that Mion does. Her power is very different.
でも神社に出入りしてるお年寄りたちにとても大きな発言力を持っていたはずだよ。
Throughout the series, you've been feeling more and more bad for Mion. Leave her alone, please. Yeah! Mion does have the misfortune of being in a terrible family, but I feel like she's not doing anything to try and make the family not terrible. But
リ
yeah,
カちゃんに
she's a
もでき
victim
る
a
努
lot.
力があったのにしなかった。
Rika, I'm dying in 2 weeks. I've checked out.
リカちゃんも結局はみーちゃんと同じ哀れみの表情を浮かべて小娘を装っただけだった。するのはサトシ君やサトコちゃんを慰めるだけ。その根本原因に対して何の手も差し伸べようとしなかった。そんな無慈悲な哀れみがどれほど残酷だったか想像できる？サトシ君が欲しかったのは救いだった。誰かに助けて欲しかった。
Did he, though?
自分の力だけではどうしても抜け出せない苦境だったから。首まで沈もうとする沼の中で精一杯手を伸ばして誰かに掴んでもらうことを期待していたんだよ。
Again, he didn't ask for help, so...
そうね。
Rika-chan's voice sounded mature. It was very different from how she usually sounded. Oh, is she pulling out the voice now?
サトシたちを救う方法がわからなかったから慰めることしかしなかった。
It's not quite her whine voice, but it's a mix between them.
それにかまけ救う何かを探し続けなかった罪は分かってるじゃない。
Rena gave her a twisted smile. That ugliness caused me to look away.
そしてサトコちゃ
Oh,
ん、
we didn't get to see her creepy smile, Sprite? That would have been a good touch.
あなたに信じられるかわからないけれどあなたの罪はとても重い。
I didn't understand why she was blaming Satoko. I tried to take her side, but I gasped in surprise when I looked at her. Oh, that's one of the hardest sprites to look at. Right there. Satoko with just the dead eyes. That's one of the most powerful sprites in the game. Less powerful there. Definitely less powerful there. Oof. Oof. That's just like... Oh, man. Maybe it's just because of how this was used in Chapter 3, but man, this sprite is hard for me to look at. Satoko must have wanted to confess her sin before Rena pointed it out to her. And so Satoko opened her mouth first.
信じてくださるかどうかは分かりませんけど、ちゃんと気づいてますのよ。その罪。
Satoko?
そうなんだ。ニーニーがいなくなってしまったあの夜に気づきましたのよ。それをどうしてニーニーがいるうちに気づけなかったのか。わかるよ、その気持ち。後悔した時にはもう遅いというのは私も同じだったから。
Satoko, like, even if I don't much care for your normal personality, you're probably the least... I was gonna say least messed up. Least messed up as far as your own actions go compared to everybody else. Like, the only thing you really did was you pushed Keiichi off a bridge at the end of Chapter 3, but that was kind of understandable. Also, apparently didn't kill him anyways.
同じことがもう一度起こったから今度は戦った。さとこちゃんのその罪はきっと将来あがなえるよ。その罪に気づけたならきっとね。それでももうニーニーは帰ってきませんのね。
True. Satoko looked down sadly. Usually Satoko would say the opposite. She always said that Satoshi was coming back one day without a doubt. But now she accepted the fact that he would never return. She accepted it easily, as if she knew it already, because he's her brother.
ね。
Shocked me all of a sudden.
これが私と同じ苦境にいた昭和57年のみんな。サトシ君は自分を助けてくれそうな人たちにはみんなに全てを話したよ。助けてほしいと言ったし、辛いとも言った。打ち明けた、相談した。転校してきたばかりの私にまでね。それはみっともないことじゃない。本当に不幸な人はね、必死なんだよ。サトシ君は自分でも懸命に頑張ってた。それでもどうにもならないからみんなに助けを求めた。
But he didn't ask for help.
ずっと求めてた。
No, he didn't!
でもね、これが圭一君の言う無条件で味方になってくれる仲間たちの体たらくなんだよ。仲間なんて楽しくてどうでもいい時間を一緒に寄り合って過ごすだけのお友達。
Ooh.
本当に辛い時に味方になってなんてくれないんだよ。
Rena, I don't appreciate you just calling me out like that.
昔からそうだったよ。引っ越し先でもそうだったからね。だから私、
This is
自
good
分が
music,
サトシ
yeah.
君と同じ状況になったと知った時、私は仲間に打ち明けるのなんかやめようってね。だってどうせ誰も助けてくれないし助けられないものなら同情なんて気がめいるだけなんだよ。せめて学校にいる間くらい楽しく過ごした方が気が紛れていいかもしれないもの。実際みんなと楽しく過ごす学校の時間は楽しかったよ。とっても幸せだった。あの女たちとのトラブルをわずかの時間でも忘れることができて本当に良かった。サトシ君もそれに気づけていたらよかったね。そうだったなら学校での時間くらいは楽しく過ごせて、あそこまで心を追い詰めずに済んだかもしれない。どうせ自らの手でおばを殴り殺す以外に解決方法はなかったのだし。転校してきたばかりで村のこともほとんど覚えていない私にはサトシ君をどう助けてあげればいいかわからなかった。できるのは話を聞いてあげて少しでも心を軽くしてあげるだけ。でもそれ以上に助けることができたのかもしれないし、私もその努力を怠っていたかもしれない。それなのに昭和57年の私はサトシ君と仲間のつもりだったんだよね。
That sounds frighteningly similar to Shion's laugh, and I don't like it. Oh no! Oh, I was not expecting that. That is a gorgeous CG, but wow. I did not expect this. Man, Satoshi's disappearance hit her way harder than I thought it did. Rena's self-derisive laughter changed into grievous sobs. Her tears gradually wore away at our relationship of trust. Nobody will help me. Friends are just people whom you have fun with. You can't trust them. The more Rena cried, the clearer we heard her voice in her heart. Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan looked into the distance with sad expressions on their faces. I was the only one who could say anything back to her now. I had to tell her this. And she knew it too. She just needed to hear it from someone. I braced myself to tell her something that might hurt everybody.
よくわかったぜ、レナ。
Thumbnail for sure, absolutely.
昭和57年のことはよくわかった。こいつらが白状だったってこともわかったさ。でもよ、サトコだって言ったろ。こいつらはみんな自分の罪に気がついた。後悔した。だから今度は違うはずだ。今度は仲間の苦しみを真に理解して助けてくれるはずなんだ。
去年いなかった人に言われても信憑性ないね。
That's true. You're talking out your butt, Keiichi.
ああ、そうだ。俺は去年いなかった。だから残念だぜ。去年の俺がもうサトシのために絶対に戦った。
And you know he would have. Keiichi just likes to be part of the movement. He's just like, yeah! F the system!
そうだ。
Uh-oh.
嘘じゃねえ。俺は木南沢に来てからどれだけ仲間がかけがえのないものかを知った。だからそんな仲間たちを救うためなら俺はどこまでも戦うぜ。
The Rena angry sprite here is in like the top I don't know how many scary sprites in the game, probably top 5 at least. Ah! I hit you just a little bit. Oh jeez, I totally forgot how crazy she looks in this one. Oh wait, this is actually, I forgot how nuts this like crazy sprite here is.
サトコやサトシをいじめるおばがそんなにもうぜえやつならサトシになんかもったいねえ。
She literally
この
looks
俺が
like
叩き殺してやった。
she looks like she is like 5 seconds away from snapping your neck like it's a dead twig.
ものの1500秒でだ。
Oh no, not 1500 seconds again. Man, he really likes that
躊躇なんかしねえ
number.
ぞ。速攻だ。学校の倉庫あたりから金属バットの一本もちょろまかして
We know that's
即ぶ
true.
っ殺してた。
口先だけならどうとでも言えるね。人を殺すのにどれだけの思い切りがいるかも知らないくせに。
Rena, you needed very little determination. You're just like, oh, she tried to choke me. Time to kill her and her boyfriend.
知らねえし知る必要もねえな。仲間を救う以上の義務がどこにあるってんだ。
ケイチ君は全然分かってない。人を殺すことがどれだけ汚らわしい行為でどれだけ自らを美化しようとも決して振り払えない汚れであることを分かってない。
そうだな。確かに仲間を救うためでも直ちに人殺しってのは短絡的すぎるよな。レナの言い分に相反するようで悪いけど悪いことに悪いことで立ち向かうってのは多分うまくいかないようにできていると思うんだ。
Two wrongs don't make a right.
仲間のためなら人殺しだって厭わないその精神だけは立派だと思う。だけどな、悪いことで得た平穏ってのは絶対に長く続いたりしないんだ。それを人は本能的に知ってるから悪いことを嫌うんじゃないかと思うんだ。
Rena's like, I'm not hearing this right now.
何それ。
Oh, maybe she is.
ケイチ君が何を口走ってるのかよくわかんないよ。
She didn't have to tell me that. I was aware I wasn't making any sense. You never do! But, for some reason, I could easily imagine a world like that. A world in which I saved my precious friends by committing an evil act. Yep! The peace I seized by doing that evil deed didn't last long. Well, that's because you did it wrong! It got worse. It ended in a way as terrible as the sin I committed. Actually, a lot worse. That was a memory that shouldn't exist. I don't know why, but I know for a fact that it happened in that world of possibility. Wait, he has a slight memory of the other chapters? Hold up!
すまん。俺も自分で何を言ってるのか意味がわからなくなった。
For some weird reason, I couldn't prevent myself from smiling in embarrassment even in a situation like this.
でもレナは分かってるはずだ。だから自らの手を汚すほかなかった運命を助けて欲しかった俺たちを嘆いてるんじゃないか。 レナは殺人者になんかなりたくなかったんだ。これが最善の選択だったなんて絶対嘘なんだ。
She didn't truly become a murderer until she killed Tepe.
だからさっきからずっと泣き続けているんじゃないか。
そうだ嘘だ嘘だ嘘だそんなのは嘘だ。
Uh-oh, she's losing it.
嘘かどうかはお前が一番知ってるんじゃねえか。最初から後悔してるんだろ。たとえ誰にも知られることなく死体を隠せたとしたって一生両手についた血は落とせないんだ。そんな十字架を背負って生きていく苦痛をどうやってごまかす。
I wonder what's gonna happen when Keiichi has a memory of when Rena and Mion tried to murder him in chapter 1.
一つしかない。
He's gonna be like, that didn't happen!
これしか方法がなかったと思い込むことだけじゃないか。それはつまり仲間に相談する価値がないって思うこと、仲間を一生否定し続けるってことだぞ。レナにとって俺たちはその程度の存在だったのか。
Bro, don't try to guilt trip her.
違うだろ。本当に助け合える関係なのが仲間だってこと。確かに去年の仲間たちはまだ未熟だった。
Hey, Knight, welcome to the stream. Yeah, this chapter is amazing.
だからサトシを不幸な運命から救えなかった。でも人は成長するんだ。ミスは二度と犯さないし後悔は二度と繰り返さない。だから信じろ。俺たちは仲間だ。
I'm telling you, man, Keiichi, destined to be a politician.
お前の一番の味方なんだ。
Uh-oh. Hang on, are we about to get lizard eyes
つ
again?
まりそれは私も未熟だったってこと？
そうだ。仲間たちが日々成長していることを信じられなかったレナも未熟だ。
To be fair, it was only a year ago.
だがそれを責める気はないぜ。俺たちだってレナが一人悩むのを今日まで気づけなかった。人は語り合うことでしか胸の内を明かせない。
Yes.
だから今日のこの場までは仕方がなかったことかもしれない。そういう意味では言いたくはないが、今日という日がレナにとって最善の選択の向こうにあったことを認めざるを得ないかもしれない。
Hey, Marty, you came in at an interesting time. So Rena has killed 2 people who were admittedly really terrible people, and the first one tried to choke her to death. And now her friends have found out, and we're like, "Now you did the right thing, but you should have told us. We would have helped kill them for you." It's very interesting.
でも俺たちは今この場になってレナが去年からずっと持っていた不信感も
Sounds normal for this game. Yeah, pretty normal.
全部吐き出し合った。
Oh, also Rika, the little girl, apparently has clairvoyant knowledge and gets drunk on a regular basis.
だから俺たちは今こそようやく
本当に今更だね。いつも罪は手遅れになってから気づかされる。
Yeah, but that's why we repent.
そうでもねえさ。例えば俺は仲間であるレナの今回のこの出来事を理解できる。
理解できる。
I love how Keiichi's the only one talking. Everyone else is just like, let him cook.
人の命を奪うのは許されることじゃないっていう道徳的なことはもちろん理解している。でもそれを理解した上で仲間であるレナが
Okay,
こ
no.
うするほかなかったことを理解する。
She didn't really have a choice for the first one. She literally committed premeditated murder when she killed the uncle. I'm not that upset about it because he sucks, but...
レナを汚らわしいと思わないし恐ろしいとも思わ
Oh,
ない。
Keiichi, you should be. She's the most terrifying visual novel character I've encountered.
次に
When
同
she
じ
wants
よう
to
な
be.
ことがあったら今度はこういう結果にならないように悩み合おう。
Suck it, Dahlia.
だけどすでに起こってしまったこの出来事を俺は理解する。理解ってのはつまり許すということだ。俺はレナのこの行為を否定したりしない。
I said that to everybody this time. I said it to all my friends.
俺はレナのやったこの出来事をこれしかどうしようもなくて悩み抜いた上で至った最後の手段だったってことを
But she didn't think it through with Tepe. That's the thing.
だから
I think do you think she's more terrifying than Shion? Yeah, Shion just annoys me and angers me. Rena, in chapter 1, Rena terrified me in like a visceral way. In a way that no other visual novel characters come close to. And part of that is just my own life experience. But like, holy crow, the scene So the first scene where she turns, like, crazy, and the scene where she tries to break into your house and reveals she's been, like, following you everywhere. I don't think a character has ever terrified me that much.
俺はレナに協力しようと思う。
ケイちゃん。
もちろん殺した理由が金目当てだとかそんなくだらねえのだったら警察へ叩き出してやってるぜ。だけどな、レナはそんな気持ちでやったんじゃない。どうしても逃げられなくて悩み抜いた末に至った今日なんだ。レナの罪はそこに至るまでに俺たちに相談しなかったことを。だけどそれを俺は許す。だから今日に至ったその行為も俺は許す。
ケイイチ。
Hey, Rika.
だからみんなもレナも今日に至るまでそれに気づけず
He's
レナを一
apologizing
人
for
で
being
悩ませた俺を
dense.
許してくれ。それが今日を招いた俺の罪だ。
Oh yeah, Rika's also creepy, but yeah, she's not malicious. She's just like done.
ケイイチさん。
このヤバい袋の山を知ったのは俺たち全員が秘密にすれば
Yeah! Yeah, when 5 kids all try to keep a secret like this, no one will ever squeal. Of course
レナ
not.
は何も気にすることはない。
Rika won't squeal. I don't trust these two though, Satoko and Mion. I also don't trust Keiichi. Between those three, one of them's gonna squeal.
最初の予定通りにこの袋をどこかに隠しまおうぜ。そして全員で塩でお清めでもして一丁上がり
In
だ。
fact, out of all the characters, Keiichi is definitely gonna be the one who let something
そ
slip.
したら俺たちは全ての罪を許し合おう。そして取り戻そうぜ。本当に平穏な日々を。
Take more breaths in between your words next time,
これだ
Keiichi.
ろ。
Rika's like creepy doll scary. That serious face, yeah, it's a
レナが
disturbing one.
本当に選びたかった未来ってやつはこっちなんだろ。最善の選択肢は。
ケイイチくん。
I jumped on the hood of the abandoned car Rena was standing on, and I reached for her hands.
認めろ。こっちが本当にレナが来たかった世界なんだよ。
They covered for him in Chapter 3. I still have no clue what actually happened in Chapter 3.
レナが本当に選びたかった選択肢なんだよ。
You know what? That's fair. That's true. Satoko's the most trustworthy out of those 3 that I mentioned. Rena's not gonna spill her own secret. Rika won't. Satoko probably won't. Mion, I'm not sure about. Mion might tell Shion, and then Shion will just post it on Facebook. And it's like, what? I didn't know it had to be secret.
確かにこの選択肢はレナ一人だけじゃ選べない。レナと俺たちが互いに手を差し伸べ合ってしか選べないんだ。
Not only would Shion post it on Facebook, she'd post it on Mion's Facebook account, pretending to be her.
つまり俺だけが差し伸べても
That way
意味が
Mion
ない
gets
ん
in
だよ。
trouble for it.
俺だけじゃない。みんなが差し伸べる。だからレナ、お前も手を伸ばせ。それで互いに手をつかみ合って初めてお前は本当に選びたかった選択肢の向こうの世界に行けるんだよ。
To be frank, I feel like a third of Keiichi's monologue I've just kind of skimmed over, just thinking like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, we're friends, blah blah.
ケイイチくんの言葉は本当なら嬉しいよ。でもみんなもそうだとは限らないよ。
Should we? Shion would tell Luisi for the lulz. Shion has, yeah, she's terrible. Little hand touched mine. Okay, Rika, that is too close with that facial expression. It was Rika-chan.
リカちゃん。レナは決して汚れてなんかいない。あなたは決して屈しなかった。そしてこんなにも泥だらけになりながら。
Knowing nothing about these characters, hearing what one of them would post on secrets on Facebook is hilarious. Oh yeah, so Marty, Shion is Mion's identical twin sister. She is actually the worst protagonist I've ever encountered. In terms of, like, unlikability and evilness. Most of the time, she's just a troll who torments her friends for fun. Last chapter, she literally crucified a 12-year-old abuse victim. That's all you really need to know.
そんなあなたをどうして私は認めずにいられるのか。
Rika-chan's small hand was strong, and she spoke eloquently.
私は逃れられない不幸の迷宮に飲まれ、 全てに失望する堕落の心地よさを知っている。だからこそたった一人で屈することなく戦い続け、今日をそんなあなたが身近にいることを、私も圭一と同じあなたの罪を許す。だからあなたも。リカちゃん。私は無力な小娘だけれど、きっと戦えた。自分も運命に屈しないレナのように戦う。
Will you?
だか
Or are
ら
you just gonna get drunk tonight again?
私をあなたの仲間として許してもらいたい。
Rika-chan usually asks childish, but now she's like a totally different person. It's like she is. She meant every word she was saying. And then another little hand reached out to ours. Okay, Satoko, could you please not look like you remember getting crucified last chapter?
サトコ。
Satoko put her hand over mine and Rika-chan's. She didn't say anything, looking down for a while. Rika-chan urged her to speak.
私もリカも両親を失って一人ぼっちですけれど、今日までそれを嘆いたことはありませんでしたよ。皆さんという仲間という家族がいたから。私は
There we
これ
go.
からも皆さんとレナさんと仲間という名の家族でありたいと思っていますのよ。家族同士だからこそ時には全てを打ち明け合うのは当
Okay,
然
like
ですわ。
low-key, Satoko probably likes Rena more now after Rena killed her uncle.
だから今日はいいきっかけになったと思ってますの。互いの罪を許し合う機会が恵まれたことに感謝いたしましたよ。
仲間という名の家族か。サトコにしちゃいい例えだな。
レナさんの罪を許しますわ。どうか私の罪も許してくださいませ。
Satoko, you're not to blame! You're the abuse victim here! A big hand reached out for ours. It was Mion's.
仲間の大切さを語る
Hi!
部長である私の役目だと思ってただけに、いやはや私も部長失格かななんて。
You ignored Rika's warnings to not go here.
ミオ、
ごめん、ふざけたね。
That's just instinctual. Mion still smiled and scratched her head.
レナの境遇を察しなかったことを仲間として部長として恥
But
じ
she
るよ。
didn't tell us, so how could we know?
許してほしい。もちろんレナが私たちに相談しなかったこと。
This is why if I was there when I was in high school, like, they'd probably all hate me. I'd just be like, yeah, you gotta turn yourself in.
それは私が打ち明けるに足る存在じゃなかったってことだからね。私はリーダーであらねばと日々努力しているはずなのに、全然その未熟さは。だからレナの罪を許す。
This is a long scene, my goodness.
レナ、
We gotta scooch over to the left and the right to make room for Rena here.
俺たちは全員手を重ねて差し伸べたぞ。こっちは全部揃った。あとはお前だけなんだ。手を伸ばせ。
Waiting for her to have lizard eyes.
こっちへ来い。お前が本当に来たかった世界はこっちなんだ。もう手は全員が差し伸べてる。
Why is Rika still staring at us like we took the last Italian urban cheese bread?
だからためらうな。
レナは人殺しだよ。きっとみんなに迷惑をかけるよ。
レナ、私たちは。
リカちゃん、もう余計なことは言わなくていい。俺たちは全員で手を重ねて差し伸べている。
Yeah, this is a powerful scene
こ
for
の事
sure.
実にこれ以上上塗りする言葉は何も。だからレナにだって言葉はいらないんだ。
Keiichi needs to stop taking a big breath after every few words. It makes me accidentally cut off his monologue way too often.
こっちへ手を伸ばせばいいんだ。来いレナ。夢とか幻とかじゃない。ましてや手遅れでも何でもない。レナにはまだ選べる選択肢が残ってるんだ。だから選べ。
You must choose!
来るんだ。俺たちはやり直せるんだ。
Rena slowly reached out, and her hand touched ours. She didn't hold our hands. All she needed to do was touch our hands to show us her will. Rena chose to live, to share her life with her friends, rather than to refuse them for the rest of her life. I took a step closer to her and firmly grabbed her wrist. It was getting dark, and some stars had appeared in the sky. We all forgave each other for our sins for the first time. And it was a little embarrassing, but Rena's tears made us all cry, and we just kept crying together. We stood in a circle, holding each other by the shoulder, and putting our heads together in the middle. We are a family made of friends. We forgave each other, and we're happy together. There's a memory in the back of my mind, but it's not supposed to exist. I tried to save one of my friends in that world. In order to do that, I rejected all of my other friends. I acted recklessly alone, and I brought about the end of the world. The situation we had here is the same as that incident in that faraway world, in the sense that people had been deprived of their lives in order to save one friend of mine. But other than that, it was different. We have Rena, Mion, Satoko, Rika-chan, and myself. Yay! They exclude Shion! Let's go. Nobody was missing. Exactly! We were all going to regain them. We were going to regain those happy and peaceful days. The road going there might be a little rough, but we'll walk it together. We all will. The moon is so lovely tonight. Abrupt change. We went to the place in the mountains of Higurashi that Rena had picked for burying the bags. Carrying corpses is a scary thing to do, but it made us united more strongly because of that. Since each part of the corpses is in a separate plastic trash bag, we can tell what's inside each bag by touching it. First, we forced ourselves to laugh whenever we had to touch the bodies, because we were scared. But after a while, we got used to it, to the point where we could make jokes about it. Of course, all of that was probably a bluff, but we all tried our best. Mion somehow had detailed knowledge of how to hide corpses, and she told me to dig the hole deeper. How suspicious. Rika-chan helped to carry the bags. That's all I'm gonna do. Satoko had used her talent of setting traps to perfectly camouflage the place where we buried the bags. Me? Well, I was in charge of digging the hole. Rena dug it earlier, but I made it a little deeper. After we finished all of that, we walked back to the place where we parked our bicycles and looked back at the place where we buried the bags. It was completely unnoticeable. We'd never be able to find the place again once we left for home. That's how perfect it looked.
よっしゃみんなお疲れさんこれでおしまいだね帰ろ帰ろ
Come on, Takano's gonna show up be like, that was a good spot. I'm gonna remember that. Mion said it cheerfully, as if we just finished club activities or something. We had no more bags to carry, and no longer had any burden to carry either. We got on our bicycles, but Rena was still standing there, looking into the distance.
おいレナ。
ごめん、ちょっと熱が出ちゃったみたいで、なんかぼーっとする。
Rena's face looked slightly red. Mion touched Rena's forehead. It actually was a little warm. She had a tough day today. She had to go through so many things. She had to find a place to hide the corpses. She had to dig a hole. We caught her with the bags. We talked about our feelings, and we forgave each other. She must be exhausted after a day like that.
レナ、今日は帰ったらゆっくり休め。
ありがとう。そうするね。
レナ私たちはもう全部許し合ったんだよだから自分を責めちゃダメだからね
やっぱりみんな
何がだ？
You took too long of a
やっ
gap.
ぱり私自分を騙せてなんかなかった。どう自分の行為を美化したって私は心の中で恐ろしいことをしたと
Oh, is she admitting that she was wrong, that she does have regrets?
みんなに助けてもらってここまで来てこんななんだもん。もしみんなと会わずに一人で全てを片付けていたら私は耐えきれず潰されてしまったかもしれない。
That sounds familiar. She said all this with a bitter smile. It might take her a long time to heal from the pain, but it must be 100 times shorter than the time it would have taken if she did this all alone. Rena's home was the closest from here. Rena went her way and the four of us were left behind. Mion made a suggestion.
明日からなんだけどさみんな揃って今日のことを忘れるのがいいと思うんだけど
Keiichi's like, no way! I already made a Facebook Live reel.
どう思う
そうですわね。それが一番レナさんにとって優しいことになると思いますわ。
レナは強い人です。僕たちがそう振る舞えばレナもそう振る舞ってくれますですよ。
振る舞いもずっと続けてれば本当になるって言うもんな。
語らないことでそのうち私たちは忘れていくよ。
I don't think you can forget something this big.
そして完全に忘れきった時が私たちのゴールだね。
おそらくその日は一生かけて来るか来ないか
Well,
を
at
探る
least
こと
you
になる
guys
と
will.
思い
I'll
ま
be
す
dead by
です。
then. The day of reckoning
そ
will
うかも
come.
しれませんわね。簡単に忘れられることではありませんでしたよ。
We are smiling way too much considering we just were accomplices to murder.
仮に生涯忘れられなくてもいい。
Me and the boys helping my friend get away with murder.
大切なのは
It's even
最
the
後
same
ま
number
で
of
全員の胸に
characters.
しまって秘めておくことなんじゃないかと思う。
思い出させない方が大事だからね。
We nodded in agreement, just as my house came into view.
じゃあな、みんな。明日また学校でいつもの通りに。
いつもの通りに。いつも通りにトラップに引っかかり遊ばせですわね。
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。
Can we get it to be continued? No! We still don't get it to be continued. After I parted with them, I still felt hot and dizzy. I felt really weird. I was even staggering to the front door. I felt as if I was floating in the air. I just took some very strong cold medicine. Today, something very shocking, something that made me super happy, and something very embarrassing happened to me. I felt as if my heart and my mind were about to explode because they were filled to the brim with both happiness and sadness. I don't know whether I made a crucial mistake today, or if I just had the happiest day of my life. I don't know which it was. And all I could do was stare blankly into space. I felt frustrated, too. Even though they were my friends, I was caught in the act of abandoning the corpses. But at the same time, I felt relieved that my reliable friends accepted what I did. Those emotions were all mixed up in my heart, and they were equally strong, making it difficult for me to decide what I was feeling. I was losing my sense of balance. It was like the world was warping around me. I heard sounds as if I was in the shower. So everything left me with a feeling of inequality. No. When these emotions were about to make me lose control, I felt a heat on my wrist. The part where Keiichi grabbed me earlier started throbbing. My feelings weren't cooperating with me, but the heat on my wrist calmed them down for me. I don't know how to express what I felt when my friends and I held shoulders together in a circle earlier, but the feeling was the only thing I knew to be real.
ただいま。あれ？
As soon as I opened the front door, I smelled it. It smelled really good. My father isn't good at cooking, but he likes trying to cook creative dishes. I remember he used to cook something very challenging whenever he was in a good mood, so this smell is a sign that he felt that way. That's why I always like this smell. The reason he's in a good mood is because he found a job. One day, let's go! And not just any job. He found a job with a company created by friends from his old workplace. They remembered my father promised to hire him. Hey! He told me some of his other colleagues from the old company are also working there. It must be very encouraging for him to work with people he knows, because he hasn't worked for a long time. Let's go. The dinner looked great in contrast to how it tasted. Oh, sick burn. It was a dinner to celebrate his new life, to show his determination, to regain his bond with his daughter, and to make a clean start. A new start? I talked about a lot of things with my father that night. So what did you do today, Rena? It had been a long time since last time I talked to him like this. I don't remember when it was, but it reminded me of the days I was still happy, which meant that I'd finally returned to that time. My father still believes that Teppei is coming back one day, so he's still very cautious about locking the doors and windows, and he gets scared every time someone rings the doorbell. Did you ever repair the glass on that window that Teppei just busted through? I told him so many times that he'd never come back, but I couldn't convince him, because I couldn't tell him the reason why they won't. He'll eventually realize that he's free. I'm sure it won't take too long. My heart was full of many, many emotions that day. If emotion could actually burst a heart, it might happen to me. My brain must have been overworked because so many things happened at once. My head was still fuzzy, but I managed to crawl into bed. I felt like the ground was moving. I totally lost my sense of reality. I remember that once I felt like this when I got the flu. I might get a high fever tomorrow, but I don't care. I don't care if I get sick tomorrow. I just wanted to enjoy the fact that I took a step towards the future of my decision. Keiichi told me something like that today. The high fever and the dizziness made me feel frustrated for some reason. But whenever I felt frustrated, I felt the heat on my wrist too. I grabbed my wrist with my left hand tightly. It made the frustration go away, and it brought me relief. Even the dizziness I didn't like just before made me feel like I was in a down-filled futon. I was falling asleep in that down-filled futon on my first night in a new world. This dizziness didn't go away for a few days, but I gradually got used to it. Can we please get A to B continued? Dear Lord! This is like an hour scene. This new world looked like the world I used to live in before. But the sunshine was a little bit brighter, and Keiichi-kun's smile looked a little bit more gentle than before. We made more noise than we used to. We spent every day slowly, but in high spirits. Oh, what an idiot I am. I underestimated that dizziness, and I caught a summer cold in June. I wanted to get better as soon as possible. I should have taken a day off from club activities, but I forced myself to play with them every day, and that made it hard for me to get better. I finally learned my lesson recently. I don't need to feel frustrated. There's no limit to happiness in this world. As long as we keep wishing for it, it'll continue forever. I don't need to feel frustrated anymore, because tomorrow, I will have this happiness I have today. There have been like 5 opportunities to have it to be continued, and they haven't taken it. We'll have the Watanagashi Festival next Sunday. Nothing bad happens at that festival. Michan tells us we'll have a lot of fun, and then we'll go extra crazy. I really can't wait. Come on, come on, come on. Finally! Not that that scene wasn't bad, but dear Lord, it's getting late. New tips acquired. Letter from the forestry office. Uh-oh. I get a bad feeling about this. Achievement unlocked. You're crying right now. Be forgiven. With a teardrop. We caught on our security camera. Someone buried the body. It's still June, yet the air is filled with the cries of the cicadas. How is everyone in Hinamizawa doing? The Watanagashi Festival is coming just around the corner. We staff members from the Forestry Service are going to perform a wood sculpting demonstration at the festival. We'll be happy to lend out our tools and teach your kids how to sculpt wood themselves. It'll be an excellent memorial gift. Also, we would like to inform everyone that we're going to cut down trees in the local hills this summer as part of the number redacted 4 Forest Landscape Management Project. This project involves preserving the beauty of the forest by cutting down old trees and planting new ones. The Forestry Service needs volunteers who are interested in helping us cut down the old trees. You can enjoy the beauty of nature under the blue sky while helping out with this preservation activity. The project will begin during summer break, so you can bring your kids too. This will be a good opportunity for your kids to learn about nature and have a valuable experience. The locations of the projects are the forests of the Tatsukudo and Yagochi areas. I was waiting for that. Oh, they might be going to find the bodies. That's okay. There will be nothing left to trace us back to us. Nothing bad will happen. All right, yeah, we're ending the stream there. A little bit longer than usual. My dad was texting me during that, so whoops. Sorry, Dad. Couldn't respond during that time. It's okay, though. I had a lot of fun. That was a great stream. Really cool scenes, and I am loving this chapter so far, and let's hope it just continues. But clearly, things are going to get worse, because Watanagashi always brings worse things. So, all right, thanks for joining in and chatting, everybody. It was great hanging out with you all. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your night, and God bless everybody.